Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Powerpuff Girls house. This is the old version of the house. I have actually made the new version, the rebooted version. You might be able to see it in the background just behind me. They are very different, but I decided that I would make both of them just because I like both designs. If you do want to make the new version along with the old version, then you can find the tutorials for those in the card system and the description below. You'll be able to find tutorials for whichever version you are looking for. But I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you do enjoy the content, please do remember to hit that like button and leave a suggestion down below as to what you would like to see next. But without any further ado, let me show you how to make this house. It's a really nice house. I'm hoping that you guys really do enjoy this one. Before we begin, I'll let you know that the house will roughly fit into a 28 by 15 block area. That is 28 blocks coming across the front of the build by 15 blocks going towards the back of the build. This does not include the garden and the fences and stuff. This just includes the actual big house portion of the build. So do make sure that you have more room than this if you do want to build all of these surrounding things that add additional detail. So make sure you got all that space, and also make sure that you've got all of these materials. You're going to need absolutely every single one of these, every single one. So do make sure that you have them all before you begin the tutorial. And once you do have all of them, we're going to begin with this series of materials in my hotbar, and we're going to start off the build with a row of 14 block of quartz coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're then going to go right by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to connect down to the ground, like so. We're going to take the quartz block that hits the ground, and we're going to go left of it by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go to the right, and we are going to connect to that wall. We are then going to place a row of quartz above this row of quartz that we've just placed, and we will connect that row of quartz to the left, like this, to create two individual sections. We then want to, beginning from the top of the build, we want to place 2 rows of block of quartz coming down towards the ground. This will be 1, and then this will be 2, like this. Now, once you have that sorted out, we are going to divide this rectangular empty space up into 3 different areas. And each of these areas are 3 blocks wide. So, you're going to want to have 1, 2, 3, and then a block of quartz like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and then a block of quartz like that. So you're going to want to divide these this big empty rectangular space up into 3 separate areas like so. We are then going to place a quartz stairs. We're going to place a sideways quartz stairs at the bottom left, bottom right, an upside down quartz stairs facing sideways left and right at the top to make these rectangular shapes into oval shapes, because that's the shape of the windows that we have for the Powerpuff Girls house. We want to have circular shapes like this. What we also want to do is we want to take this big empty space that we have down at the bottom here, and we want to place a row of block of quartz inside of this empty space. We want to start from the left. We want to place a row of block of quartz coming up the left, across the top, and down the right, like that. We want to place a row of quartz slab at the top of this, like so. We want to place 2 rows of stone slab at the bottom, inside 1 and 2 on top of each other. Extend that bottom row of stone slab towards you, and expand that left and right by 1, like that. We then want to fill in this empty space behind here using red concrete. And we want to also be able to place a small window in the top center position. And we want to have a bit of red above it, so you can sort of see the position that it's in. So it doesn't want to be this block, but the one down below it. And bottom right diagonally of the window, we will place a wooden button, like so. We will then fill in the window to the right of us using light blue glass block. For whatever reason, I really am just enjoying glass block more than glass pane, but it is of course up to you, whichever one you want to use. We then want to take the left-hand side of the house and the right-hand side of the house, and we want to place 14 rows of block of quartz coming backwards, left of the house, right of the house. So it will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like that. So we want to have 14 rows of block of quartz coming backwards just to form the walls of the house. So we're going to want to extend them backwards, the left and right hand sides. We are also going to want to connect them together at the back as well. I'm sure you guys have figured that out. We'll want to connect them together at the back. And then we will also fill the top of the area in using a block of quartz as well. So let's do this side first. This is the left hand side. And then we're going to come over here. This is the right hand side. We're going to fill this in as well. We're going to extend all of this backwards. Then connect together, fill in the top, and then that will be the main part of the house. That'll be the big part of the house at the very least, complete, pretty much. Although we do have a little bit more glass to add in for the windows. You know those 3 windows at the top front of the house? Well, we are going to color coordinate those to make them look a little bit nicer. We'll probably do that before we move on to the next part because, well, I mean, it's going to be a little bit easier. I'll show you what I mean. So we want to have extended all of these rows backwards, 14 rows coming back, and then we want to connect them together coming across the back. And then I think we'll add the color for the windows because this is quite a good time to do it whilst we still have access to the house. Yeah, it's quite a good time to do it indeed, just while we do have access to the house. And we will then fill in the roof, which is going to be fun. Not, and then we'll work on the other parts of the house because there is a little more to this. So once you've done like the left hand side, the right hand side, you've connected it together at the back, we're going to get rid of the buttons, the red concrete, and the stone slabs for a little while, and we're going to grab lime concrete, light blue, and pink concrete. So from the inside of the building, we want to cover up these 3 windows, and it's important that we get this order. This left window wants to be filled in using an and this is the thing, right? So okay, here's how we might do this. So I'm just going to get rid of these 2 concretes. And this left window, we want to use glass to fill this in, right? So we just want to have green glass, lime glass sat behind this window. This middle window specifically wants to have pink glass just behind the window. And the first window, the one on this right hand side here, specifically wants to have blue behind the empty window. Then we want to use lime concrete behind the green glass to create a nice green effect. We want to use pink concrete behind the pink glass to create a nice pink effect. And we want to use blue concrete, specifically light blue concrete, behind the light blue glass to create a blue effect, like this. But you will run into problems doing this. So what you want to do is you want to separate the windows using a row of block of quartz in the middle of the windows like this. And the effect that you're looking for should look very much like that. You see, that's very nice. That's very vibrant. If you want the other windows to look cool, place light blue concrete directly behind them. Because the windows are blue, if you place a light blue concrete behind them, then they will look cool. But that means that you're probably not going to be using the house. It's a really nice effect. It's up to you whether you want to keep that. You want to do the same thing behind the door as well, by the way. Anyway, now that we've done that, we're going to completely fill in the top of the build using block of quartz. We just want to completely fill in the top of the build using the block of quartz like this. And once we have done this, and we have done a significant part of this house right now, I think that we're making, we're doing a pretty decent job so far. And once we've done this, we do have 2 small parts of the house to do. Before we move on to the garden and walls and trees and stuff, you know, that sort of normal like stuff. But it is those little details that do make the house better, but you might want to add your own sort of stuff, we'll see. But that is what you want to do to the top of the house. That's the front of the house, and as you can see, it's looking really good so far. So the next thing that we're going to be working on is the garage. There is a garage on the right hand side of the house. To make the garage, we just need block of quartz and we need some light grey concrete. On the right hand side of the house, you want to take the very bottom front right hand corner of the house. You want to move back by 1, and you want to place a row of 6 block of quartz coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to go right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to connect down to the ground, like that. We then want to place a row of 12 coming backwards from the top and the side, so that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we can connect that down to the ground, and we can also connect it to the house. And the goal is to fill in the back of this, the top of this, the right hand side of this in using block of quartz, because these are quite simply the sides of the garage. These are, there's no detail here, or at least as far as I know, there's no detail to be added here. We just want to do the back, the sides, and even the top in just quartz, and the front is going to be made out of light grey concrete, which is why I said that we needed the light grey. And the light grey itself is going to sit 1 row inwards because it looks cool that way. It looks better that way. We will be placing a row of light grey inside, and that will just be the garage doors. So you can see it doesn't take too long to do these small parts of the house. Like that, and then all we're going to do is we're just going to 1 row backwards place a row of light grey concrete just sat inside of this empty hole here, and this will fit the garage door. That's what we're after. Perfect. Now, once you've done the garage, we're going to come to the left-hand side of the build. We're going to take the very front bottom left-hand corner of the build. We're going to move backwards from this corner by not 1, but 2. And then we're going to place a row of 7 block of quartz coming out of the build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to connect back to the house. But from that 4th block, we're also going to go back by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Connect that 10th block down to the ground. Connect that block that hits the ground back to the front. And also connect the 10th block to the side of the house at the back. And you can then connect that down to the ground and then back to itself. You guys get the idea. And we want to fill the very left hand side of this in using block of quartz. The entire left hand side wants to be block of quartz. The back of this also wants to be block of quartz too. So we want to fill the back of this in using block of quartz like that. But the front is a little bit different. So on the front, we're going to want to join the right hand side top to bottom like this. We're going to want to split up the middle like that. We want to place light blue glass in the 2 empty spaces here. We want to place light blue glass. We want to place light blue concrete behind the glass like this. Perfect. And then we want to place quartz slab all the way around on top of this particular part of the house. We want to place the quartz slab on top of this. And then you just want to fill in the top using quartz slab. So it wants to just be half a row higher pretty much than it was before. It just looks a little bit more right like this. It just looks a little bit better. So that's exactly why we've done it. And you will end up with something that should look very much like that. And as you can see, that is a large portion of the house complete. But there are a few things that you might want to do just to improve the area a little bit. Like, you might want to grab yourself the white concrete. and you might want to grab some magenta concrete, and some pink concrete, and some quartz slabs. And we're also going to be using the light grey concrete too, and some jungle leaves. And I don't think, yep, and there's actually nothing else from here. So outside of the front of the house, leading from the actual entrance, we are going to create a path. The path is a little bit bendy in nature, so just make sure that there's a very slight bend in it, and the path doesn't actually have to come out that far in front of the house. Maybe like 7-8 blocks, something like that. This is going to be filled in using white concrete like this. We're also going to add some bushes in front of the house. In front of the left-hand side of the house, we're going to add a little bit of a bush area here in front of the left-hand side of the house, and also in front of the right-hand side of the house. We're actually going to split the bushes evenly underneath the right large window. We're going to create a wall on the left-hand side of the house here. So picking somewhere like towards the front middle-ish part of this add-on of the house, we're going to place like a row of 6 light grey concrete coming out from like this left-hand side of the house. We're going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to add another row of 6 light grey on top. We're going to place quartz block in front of the bottom row of 6. We're going to extend that quartz block left by 1, up by 1, and then we're going to connect that back to the house using quartz slabs like that. So we're just going to create a nice wall on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, we're actually going to create another wall, and this is going to involve another 2 rows of light grey concrete. So somewhere on the right hand side, yeah, you want to be in front of the house, maybe about 6 or so blocks away from the house, and you want to place like a row of light grey concrete that comes towards the back of the house, maybe even as far back as the garage, something like that. Add another row on top, like that. Add block of quartz going all the way around the base of your wall. So place block of quartz going all the way around the base of your wall like this. Then place quartz slabs going all the way around the top of your wall. So quartz slabs just going all the way around the top like this. And there's just a wall here basically in the original version of the Powerpuff Girls house. There's just a nice big wall like so. It looks like that. We're just going to use a little bit of magenta concrete to place a bush here. It looks something like that. You can mess it up a little bit though. You can add in some different stuff. There's also a tree. Now, I've never seen a tree that is that looks like this one, but basically somewhere towards the right-hand side of the garage at the front, in between the wall and the actual house, you want to place like a row of, say, a row of like 9 magenta concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that. We're going to take that 9th block, we're going to extend it left by 1. We're going to do an up left diagonal. We're going to take like, I don't know, maybe like the 4th block or the 5th block, starting from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to extend it right 1 and do an upright diagonal like that. And then we're going to use our pink concrete to shape it a little bit. So the shape that we're looking for is actually a little difficult to describe. So I'm actually just going to make the shape, and you guys will just have to kind of like catch the gist of what I've done here. But yeah, it's a very strange shape. It's almost like a feather sort of shape like this, but not really. It wants to look exactly like that. And it's just a nice addition. Like, maybe you even want to make the whole thing a bit higher so it doesn't hit the garage like this. Maybe you'll want to make it just a tad bit higher, or maybe not. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't personally want mine to hit the garage like this. And that's just, it really sets the scene a little bit. It really adds a nice little touch to the house, if nothing else does. And the entire rest of the build, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use lime terracotta, and I'm just going to create kind of like a dome shape, like a semicircle shape out in front of the build. And I'm just going to create an area in which that I'm just going to fill in the front of the house in using lime concrete like this. So I just want to completely fill the front of the area in using lime concrete, like all the way around inside this shape. I'm going to dig it out. I'm going to replace it with lime terracotta, not lime concrete. Lime concrete would be way too bright. But you can use that if you want. And I'll just show you what it looks like once you have done that. I'm not going to do this on recording because it will take a really long time. But let me dig it out and I'll show you what it looks like. And you guys can decide whether or not you want to do this for yourself. And this is what the place will look like if you do decide to replace the grass. I think it's a little bit more fitting than just like regular Minecraft grass. Because like the surroundings are so cartoony and insane anyway. I mean, we've got like a purple feather tree and purple bushes and stuff. It seems to make a bit more sense to have a bit more of a colourful landscape in front of the house. But it's up to you whether you want to do it. It's not a big deal either way. I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, by the way. If you have, please remember to hit that like button. This is the house built. This is it. If you have enjoyed the tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you do enjoy the content. Please subscribe. Click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. Very important stuff indeed. If you want to leave a comment down below and let me know what I should make next, I'd be very interested to see what you guys want to make, what you guys want me to make. And on top of all of that, guys, if you want to check out more stuff by me, like this is actually a really good part of my world for like cartoon stuff. I have the old Powerpuff Girl, the new Powerpuff Girls house right there. You'll be able to find that in the card system description below. You'll be able to find all sorts of stuff. Like you can see in the background, I've got all sorts of cartoon related builds. I've got Ben 10, I've got Gru, I've got from Despicable Me, I've got Mickey Mouse's Playhouse, I've even got the Loud House over there in the background. All sorts of crazy stuff over there in the background. You can check that out. The card system description below. You'll be able to find all of that. The cartoon builds playlist is your friend. I'm rambling on now, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.